Trump Commitment 2016, the focus is shifting westward. Arizona, Utah, and Idaho are all up for grabs next Tuesday, and those states can play an important role in moving the front runners toward nomination. But the opponents of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, well, they're hoping to move the game toward a campaign trail stalemate and also a convention showdown. Brian Moore explains from Washington.
Bernie Sanders is defying naysayers, reportedly including President Obama himself, who believe it's time for Democrats to close ranks behind Hillary Clinton.
We have a path toward victory that goes right through Idaho.
And he hopes a Western win streak will change his fortunes at the Democratic Convention in July. Some hand-wringing Republicans are looking for options to unseat their frontrunner, Donald Trump. They're hoping to pull to notch Trump vote. Former candidates and fellow Senators Lindsey Graham and Marco Rubio have both voiced support for Ted Cruz, but stopped short of endorsing him. On Facebook, former GOP nominee Mitt Romney announced he's voting for Cruz next week in Utah. Trump tweeted, "The man who choked and let us all down is now endorsing Lion Ted Cruz. This is good for me." John Kasich refuses to step aside, hoping more wins will make him the consensus candidate.
So maybe they ought to, knock it off and get behind me.
Cruz turned his focus to next week's big prize, Arizona. And at the border, he borrowed a signature Trump campaign theme.
President Obama tells us the border's secure. Well, I invite him to move the White House down to the southern border. Let's see how secure it is.
He has one eye on the border and another on a threshold. If any candidate claims 50% of the vote there Tuesday, it's winner take all. That is 58 delegates total, and the latest polls have Trump in the lead, but short of that 50% mark. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
A horse in Kentucky had to be rescued after he fell into a ravine. Now, neighbors found the horse all tangled up in vines. Another complication, however, the horse named Akia is allergic to tranquilizer drugs that normally would sedate the animal in a situation like this. Well, a dozen of dogs are recovering after being seized from an elderly Georgia man's property. Animal control officials say that they rescued 72 dogs from a 2-acre area. They say that the man was hoarding the dogs who were found in junkyard cars, the woods, and even a historic church. There was little food or water, and most of them had open wounds from fighting over resources. One Florida school almost welcomed a new student this week. Well, officials say a nearly 10-foot alligator was spotted on the school's campus. They believe that he was headed for a lake across the street, but took a detour through the school's fill instead. Now, school officials said they were a bit nervous as the students rushed to check out the visitor. A police officer, though, was able to corral the gator under his patrol car until the trapper arrived. Now, the gator was wrangled and relocated to another lake far away from the school, which I guess is good news, huh, Jesse? Don't want it too close for comfort.
Exactly, yeah. Get the alligator away. I mean, I know if I saw an alligator, I would be out of there as quickly as possible. As you look at the weather behind us, it's kind of cloudy. It's looking a little bit dreary this morning. Overcast skies all across the area still right now, and we do still have a chance to see a couple more showers, mainly later on this morning and into the early afternoon. Look at the shot there. It's North Oaks Medical Center camera up there on the North Shore in Hammond, and looking, like I said, kind of cloudy and a little bit dreary this morning, but by late this afternoon we should start to see a little bit of clearing and maybe even some sunshine later on today. Look at the satellite and radar picture currently. Now, across most of the area, we're seeing the cloud cover moving in there from the northeast. We're also seeing some of those showers and storms there, mostly offshore, and lots of lightning associated with these storms, so pretty strong. Now, the good news is that these are offshore. Mariners beware, not a good time to go out on the water right now as these storms continue to push off to the east. It looks like the strongest of them will stay south and continue to push off to the east and not really affect any of us. It's the ones over here looking like they're moving a little bit more to the northeast. So if they stay together, we could see a little bit of rainfall, maybe even within the hour. And I'll show you the forecast model in a second. 66 degrees currently at the airport over in Kenner. North wind at about 7. And as you look at the temperatures across the area, mid to upper 60s, so mild and muggy to start off the day. Calm winds in pretty much all locations around the area, except for a couple there off the water. And a little bit close to the coast, we're seeing about 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Now, here's our setup for today. This front is pushing through the area. That's why you saw north winds on the North Shore and Baton Rouge and east winds close to the coast. The front is pushing through. It's to our northwest right now, and all of us will have north winds by later on today. There's a look at those strong storms This is the group of storms right here that I'm tracking that could impact our area as they continue to push off to the northeast. These will stay offshore as they are going pretty much due east. Now, as you look at the forecast model, it's really not showing much of a chance for rainfall. We'll push this forward at 11:30. You're seeing just some light showers down there. It wasn't really initiating really well either. So I do think we'll see a couple of more showers and storms than this is illustrating. But once we get into the late afternoon, I would say after 2 or 3 o'clock, that front starts to push through, things clear out, and by late tonight, we'll start to see a clearing overnight. Temperatures will be dropping down into the 40s on the North Shore. Same thing on the South Shore, too. But a little bit close to the coast, we'll stay in the low 50s. Before today, our highs aren't going to move much. We'll stay in the mid to upper 60s, mostly cloudy. You saw that potential there for a couple of isolated storms, but becoming breezy later on today. 15 to 20 mile per hour winds. You'll feel it later on this evening. 42 degrees on the North Shore and upper 40s, low 50s south of the lake. Cool nights coming up, even cooler for tomorrow night heading into Monday morning. We could have places on the North Shore close to the freezing mark. Now, as you look at the 7-day forecast here, cooler tomorrow and Monday for our high temperatures, staying in the low 60s. We're back up to 70 by Tuesday, and then by Wednesday up to 77. And then after today, it looks like our next rain chance will be Thursday night, heading into Friday morning with another front that'll be swinging through the area. Farrah?
Thanks so much. Well, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and while it is the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States, it's the only cancer that can be prevented through a screening. Here to tell us more about colon health is Charlene Guidry and Dr. Krishnan. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thank you.
So first, Doctor, let's talk about what exactly is colon cancer for folks who may not be aware of it.
Colon cancer is cancer that can occur anywhere in the colon, which is another name for the large intestine. And it almost always starts as a benign growth known as a polyp, which over many years can transform into cancer. And if it's left untreated, it can spread through the bloodstream to other organs.
And so that's why when they see the polyps, they have to be removed, right?
Exactly.
Not a good sign. Charlene, of course, you know, you're a patient and also you've had colon cancer, family history of that. Tell me a little bit about that.
My sister was 42 and she was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. So from that point on, we, as her siblings and family, immediate family, have to have colonoscopies every 5 years. So I'm fixing to do my 4th come next Thursday.
Well, good luck, and of course,
Thank you.
prayers for a clean bill of health. Now, doctor, let's talk about stage 3 colon cancer. How advanced is that cancer when we talk about stages?
So when we look at stages, we look at how much it has actually gone through the wall of the colon and whether it starts invading into the lymphatic channels as well as the bloodstream. Stage 4, when it is through the bloodstream, it can actually spread to other organs. So we like to catch it early on when it's much more treatable.
What age should we begin getting colonoscopies? I mean, how do we know when it's time for us to get checked?
So that's a great question. Unfortunately, a lot of patients wait until they start developing symptoms. Some symptoms may be frequent abdominal complaints like bloating, pain, cramping, change in the bowel habits, more diarrhea, constipation, unexplained weight loss, as well as increased fatigue, iron deficiency, anemia, and even blood in the stool. But unfortunately, by the time you experience these symptoms, it usually means the cancer has already advanced. So the different gastroenterology associations have looked at the statistics, and they have found that it's best for most people to start getting screened at age 50, because even by age 50, 25% of the patients will start developing polyps. In African Americans, it's actually even a younger age at 45 because they tend to get polyps earlier. And then if you have any individual risk factors, such as a personal history of polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel disease, you may have to get screened even earlier based on your specific situation.
It's always be good to be safe than sorry, right?
Exactly.
Well, if you'd like some more information about colon cancer and some preventative measures, you can contact the West Jefferson Medical Center. It's hosting a colon health fair Wednesday, March 23rd at the hospital auditorium. Be sure to RSVP, though, just to make sure that you can get all the information you need. The website's on your screen, or you can call 504-349-1789. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Well, spring break is in full swing for some, but coming up in sports, what LSU head coach Les Miles told his boys to do while they're on vacation.